friends. Welcome again to Go RVing's Facebook Live. I am Yolanda Edwards, always known as Miss Hook, and we're here to celebrate Black History Month. I'm also the Go RVing ambassador. I want to tell you that I am also the creator of Black Girls Fish 2 and the co founder of Black Women of Excellence. Also, I got a big portfolio. So I am also the Georgia chapter guide for Girl Camper. I want to introduce to you Alicia Lawson.
Hey,
Yay!
how are you?
Wonderful from Time Away RV Resort. Please
Yes, I'm away
introduce
RP
yourself.
Resort. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. I just want to say that. Thank you so much, Yolanda.
We're
I'm
so
so
happy to have
blessed.
you.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear everything you got to tell me
No,
about
no.
how you got started. Tell me everything about camping. Have you always camped? Let me know some things about how you got started with your time away RV resort. That's what I want to know. That's what we're here for.
Oh, thank you so much. And with all the accolades you just said, I wish that I think we talked a little bit before this, and I said, man, I wish I had known you prior to opening up the campground. I think it would have, put some things in perspective. But and I think you'll see as we go, as we start with my history.
Okay.
Yeah, so my husband, he camped as a kid in sixth grade. I camped, and that was for the first time. But when we got married, we revisited camping. Okay, we've been married
Okay.
31 years, my husband and I. And so we camped, yes, throughout the years. We had an old camper from his mom. Didn't have any air conditioning, so it was hot. When I say hot, you know how those old campers that they were just hot. So the good thing is we continued
Okay.
outdoors, camping experience. We loved it. Kids loved it. They didn't do it as much though with us. We mainly made it a outing for ourselves, a lot. So
So where did you get started? Where did all this camping get started?
I think it started with just the fact that, my husband and his family, they were avid campers. So they
Okay.
did the real camping. I grew up in the projects. So, we didn't do a lot of camp. We didn't do a
You're
lot
in
of camp.
Alabama. This gets
I,
started in Alabama.
oh, Ohio. So we grew up in
Ohio.
Ohio.
I'm from Ohio.
Yes. You're from Cleveland, Ohio. That's right. Cleveland, Ohio. So we got a connection.
Listen,
Connection.
yes,
Yes.
I'm
So,
telling you.
yes. So Ohio, and it's cold in Ohio.
Yes,
It's cold.
right.
Okay, so we camped a lot. I camped a lot in the winter time, and my husband always camped a lot in the summertime. I didn't even know about the summertime experience of camping. Isn't that funny? I always did the fire camp, hardcore cold camping. So with my
Hmm.
husband doing it as an avid camper, when we got married, we just continued that. About 4 years ago, we thought,
Hmm.
wouldn't it be nice to own a campground because he had a lot of rental property and he got tired of pulling carpet, painting all the time. He said, I would just love to take a broom and dust off some concrete. And I said, you know what? That's a good idea. He said, what about owning an RV park? What do you think about that? I said, that sounds like a good
Okay.
idea. And we said, we
And you
set our
just
minds
go
to it.
on board.
We didn't even think about anything. We didn't think about like, I've been in marketing for 25 years. I was a
Okay.
pharmaceutical rep with Pfizer and some of the other companies. So I had the
Hmm.
marketing experience. He has the infrastructure experience, as a builder. So, he's a veteran. Our kids are veterans. Yes.
Which
Uh,
branch? I'm
so
Army.
he was Army. Yeah, he's Army. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at you. Another connection. Look at y'all.
What, what?
Our daughter was in the Navy, and our
Okay.
son is in the Army. So he has a long history of like his father and his father's father was in the Army. So they
Okay.
they're all veterans. So we're a veteran park. So
Wonderful.
yeah, we love catering to veterans. Anything we can do, we'll help. And so he just thought it would be a great idea to own one. So we just set out to have four criteria. Four
Okay.
criteria. That was it.
Just
But we
four
stuck.
to get started.
They were our deal breakers. If a park
Okay.
didn't have these four things, we
All
just
right.
didn't. We just let it go. Okay.
Okay.
Some of them came really close. Let me say, but then we said let's stick to our four, and those four were first of all we wanted to be able to pay cash, and I think you know why,
Oh,
Yolanda. It's just tough.
oh.
It's well, no,
Okay.
no.
Okay, you want to pay cash? Okay,
We want to
I
be able
know
to pay
everybody
cash.
it is.
Yeah.
I know
You
everybody
know,
going. They can pay cash for some land. Okay, keep going. What was your
we
other
wanted to be able to
three?
pay cash.
Okay,
We wanted that bank experience. We wanted to get the bank experience out of the picture. We just thought it
okay,
would be tough. We just want to, we'll sell a few homes, rental homes, and let's make it happen. So that was
okay.
one of them. The second one was we wanted some acreage. So we wanted more than 10 acres because we had a business plan. We had how many lots we wanted. I had it all marketed, and I had it marketed before we even got to it.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know,
you
right? I
seriously
love it.
planning. Okay,
Yeah.
and
So the third thing is that it had to be close to a highway. So it couldn't be no more than 5 miles away from the highway.
okay.
And we're about a mile and a half away from the highway. And
Now
then the
that's
last
good.
thing, it had to be in the South, anywhere in the South. Okay.
Anywhere in the South.
Anywhere
You
in the South.
from Ohio, and you just decided I'm getting ready to go south.
And I'm going to Alabama.
You
This
were born in Alabama?
I said I'm going to
Oh,
Alabama.
you born in Alabama.
I'm going to
Oh,
Alabama.
okay.
So when it popped up, this listing popped up. It was for sale by owner, and I just decided, let's look at it. And we took a look at it. We didn't even think about the history, or I think we might have gave it a slight thought, but wasn't really much. We said it's a good price. We can get it for cash. It meets all of our criteria. And then the bonus. Here's the bonus, Yolanda.
Okay.
It's within walking distance from NASCAR. We didn't even know that. We didn't even think about that. That was a
Ooh.
bonus.
And you're
Yes.
gonna get flooded out. Everybody want to do NASCAR.
Right, right. And we're full. Like for the race coming up in April, we don't have a
Okay.
spot left. We have 100 sites
What?
and they're all full. Well, I think we
You
probably,
can't
if you
even
go online,
squeeze me like in between two people. What?
people do ask that. Yeah. It was like, can we go park over there?
You're still getting people wanting to get in, even though you're full to capacity.
Yeah, we will block
Wow.
out. I think I just opened up like 3 sites because we try to keep it manageable.
Okay.
We have
All
a
right.
mature crowd. It's kid friendly. So if you come to this one thinking you're going to
I
party
saw
like a
some
rock
of the
star,
pictures. Yeah, I saw some of the pictures. They're beautiful. But I really want to get into some real good questions and ask you about, okay, now you're going from Ohio to Alabama. Now, in light of Black History Month, Alabama has some serious issues with us. And now you just went from a safe place, Ohio, seemingly because that's where we ran to, but now you're going back south. So, did you have any issues? I mean, as a Black couple, then you just said you paid in cash. And I know they're thinking, yeah, some drugs. Yeah, they done
right,
did something crazy. How do you
right.
come down here to Alabama and they're gonna be paying in cash? Come on now.
I know, and I'm coming. I'm coming.
Okay,
So we were asked that a lot by everybody. I think white and Black,
okay.
mainly like the contractors we work with, just people that stop by. They didn't know how to ask the questions, so we kind of help them out, and we just let them know. We tell them the story we just told you. Hey, he was in housing, decided he just had enough over 15 years and wanted
Okay.
to make a change, and the NASCAR was a bonus. We didn't think about the fact that we were Black. Now, since we've been here, we've been we know now we're Black. You know what I mean? We didn't know then. We know now.
You know now.
We know now.
Okay. All right.
And so we just thought about campers. We just thought,
All right.
let's really bring our flavor and who we are. We're time away. And we're the type of people who love time away. So we
Awesome.
thought, let's name
Awesome.
the park Time Away because we like time away.
Now let
And
me
we
ask
got
you
some
this.
campers.
Have you had any issues as far as trying to encourage more Blacks to go camping or to come to your resort or to spend time in good name, time away from everything, time away from
Everything.
the job, time away from the stress, time away just to relax. Have you had any issues trying to convince those that don't camp and in the South to come on over?
It's interesting because we got a lot of calls from people who wanted from the South, from like Alabama, that said, we'd love to do what you're doing. We have land. A lot of people in the South, and especially in Alabama, got a lot of land they're sitting on.
Okay.
And now they saw us do it. They're like,
Now,
how can you teach us how to do it? So we're like mentoring probably 11, maybe 10
Oh my
families
goodness,
on how
really?
to open up their campgrounds. We'll be visiting those. We're opening up a series. It's called Polishing Dirt, and we're doing that with our kids,
Oh
and
my,
we're so excited about that. And when I say kids, they're 35, 32, and
your adult
yeah,
children.
yeah. So we'll be teaching and teaching them how to cultivate their land into something like this. So that's kind of the area we kind of take it. We've kind of taken. I think we could do more in that arena, like you're saying. Really get out there and get more African Americans to get involved. Now for the race, NASCAR, you wouldn't believe it, but every race we've grown. Now we have race 15 campers that are going to attend the Talladega race that have never gone before.
Wow, that is awesome. So,
Isn't that
how
nice?
do you feel having been so accomplished, having gotten this far as a Black woman? And then, here it is history. You're making history, sis. This is something that can be passed down to generation. And you have made that stepping stone. You have taken that leap of faith. And now you're here. I know it's a lot of work, to keep building on what you've already started. But how do you
Yeah.
feel?
I do feel blessed in a way. I do feel like for me in my head, I think I told you at one point, I'm a dreamer. And so whatever I can dream, I can do, right? I'm a Pisces. So they
Absolutely.
say we dream a lot, you know,
Okay.
it's that month, it's that time,
All right.
February is that Pisces month. I've always felt like whatever I can dream, I can do. And my husband's kind of like that stabilizer, whatever I dream, he grounds it because mine will be all up in the air, all over the place.
Awesome.
He'll be like, okay, we got to ground that idea. So he came up with the idea on this one. And then I was the one who said, okay, I know how to put it together. And then he grounds that idea. So for me, it's kind of like it's something you're supposed to do. If you can make that, if obstacles are in your way, you know what? There's always a way. There's always a way. I'm that person that'll get a pen and paper and come talk to Yolanda and say, Yolanda, you got some ideas, girl. Let's talk about how to get past,
I
something. I'll
believe in
call.
the journal. Let me tell you something. I absolutely believe in the journal. I encourage anyone that wants to start a business, do
Yeah,
anything, have a dream or a desire to do something. It's always best to carry a journal and write your heart out. And
yeah,
there, those notes will remain, and you have something to fall back onto. Just like you say, you open that journal, you start asking me questions, and you get your questions answered and you put it in your journal and you have it. That is awesome. I'm so happy to hear you say that. So many people need to know that when you're sleeping, you get all your ideas and your dream. You wake
yeah.
up, you grab that journal and you just start.
Well, you say that. Well, hey, you're Go RVing ambassador. So, I'd like to hear a little bit about that. How did you even get started with that?
Let me tell you. As you know, I'm a retired veteran Army, 25 years. And so now I'm retired. I had surgery on my knee. I was scrolling through Facebook and I absolutely saw this group that I fell in love with. I was so empowered by women of all ages, even into their 70s, that were camping outdoors and pulling fifth wheels. Man, they inspired me. I was like, this woman says she's 70 years old and she's pulling a fifth wheel. Oh,
Right,
I
right.
need to jump in and I wanted to be a part. And I was hoping that the guy for Georgia would do a meetup because I wanted to meet some of these women. Just so happened, I go on the website and the state of Georgia was, I think it's red when it didn't have a a girl camper there, a guide. And so I applied. And I'm going to be very frank. I thought it was mostly white girls doing this. And here, this little chocolate girl like camping and being outdoors and fishing. And I was like, they're not going to pick me. I'm going to just do it. They're not going to choose me. And then I get a call. I'm like, oh my God, I'm being considered. And then I get a call with Janine Pettit. I was like,
Right, right.
I got really giddy, right? Um, when they chose me, I was I can't even begin to tell you how elated I was.
Right.
Then they in turn say, hey, we're happy to have you on board. And we want you to know that in this organization, we want diversity. Man, that made me so happy that they
Yeah.
chose me to catapult this diversity in Girl Camper. And that's
Yeah.
what I've been doing. I've been telling all my Black sisters, all my Black friends, like, come on, y'all, go camping. Just go one day with me. Just go one weekend with me. Come on. And so I can introduce them to outdoors. So when I did that, a lot of, on my first gig of taking women out as a guide, I was nervous wreck.
Right. Right.
So many kudos. They were
Yeah.
contacting Janine Pettit, our camper in chief, and saying, "Hey, we're so glad that you got her. We love her." And I was so afraid because I was a chocolate woman bringing white women out camping. I was like, "How is this gonna work?" But when I got out there, it wasn't even about color. It was about empowering women to go out and have fun. So that's how I just jumped in. So now I plan on because of Black Girls Fish too. I don't know if you can see my little emblem, Black Girls Fish
Right.
too.
Right.
I started that because of course, I'm a Black chick, and I know that there's other women out there that love to fish. So I want
Right.
to have a group of women that I can empower and say, "Hey, let's go fishing. Let's do this thing. I know you can do it." I have a lot of ladies out there that's doing it. They never get highlighted, and today
Yeah.
I just want to tell them continue to stand in your truth because you are going to be seen. It takes
You
time, but
know,
you will be seen.
yes.
Was saying
It's amazing you say that
yeah,
because like Latricia Sojourner is on, and I know she is on. She owns
yes.
like Big City Tinting, and
She's
meeting
the one
her.
who got me into wanting to cook outdoors. She cooked breakfast
Did
for me,
Disney?
and I'm
Oh,
telling
that's right.
you,
You
I
said
always
that.
tell
Yeah.
her, "Look,
Yeah.
girl,
She's awesome. We met her. She came
she
by
can
and got some of
cook."
our things. I haven't had any of her food, but she came by and got some of our 30 amp um like
Or
equipment and
hookups.
took it back
Okay.
with her. Yeah. And I was it was just such a joy to see somebody else, that was in it. We didn't even know these other things were out there until we just kind of started looking one day. It was after we bought the park. And now we knew that there's so many other, African Americans doing wonderful things.
Yes. And
So we're
she
so
gave me
excited.
a lot. She
Yeah.
gave me a lot, and
Hmm.
I'm so grateful to her because I went out to an event, wasn't expecting to stay over, and just so happened they said, "Oh, this is an overnight event." I didn't even come with a tent, a bag, or nothing. And she said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I got it." She kept pulling stuff out, cot,
Yeah.
sleeping
Yeah.
bag. She's awesome, and that just tells me that we are definitely standing in our truth. And she just helped another sister just stay overnight, and I wasn't even expecting to stay overnight. So
Oh
that's
wow.
the type of women that I like to be surrounded around, to be around because they make things happen. And I
What?
definitely got to get out there to her place because she's also in Alabama.
She is. Yes. She's in Eufaula, I think it is.
Paula, yes.
Eufaula.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just remember this because I'm always following everything she posts.
Okay.
So just watching what other people do that are inspiring.
So let me tell
So
you something. I have some fun facts that everyone needs to know. Check this out.
okay. Okay.
12% of campers in America are African American.
Hmm.
10 years ago, it was only 6%. Only
Which is
6%.
that is amazing to grow that
So
fast and
now
that much.
we're definitely growing, it's getting out there. And now more than half of African Americans who camp, they own an RV. I'm not in that number because I don't have an RV, but I'm gonna get there.
Oh, you get there. You're gonna get there. You have a tent, right? Don't you have a tent?
Yeah, honey, and I love my tent. But
I know
yes,
that's fine, but then you camping then. That's all right.
I know, but this says a lot that more and more people are getting outdoors and camping. And I want to be honest, I don't think that's a true number. I think it's more than that because I know three women who have does event once a year here in Georgia. It's called
Yeah.
Melanated Camp Out.
Yeah.
I've never seen that many black people in one place enjoying the outdoors. They put a twist on it, and I
Yes.
absolutely love it.
Oh, they're doing wonderful things. They came here. We were thinking about doing one here. It just wasn't big enough at the time. They wanted to do one for next year, and
Hmm.
we tried to make it work, and it just wouldn't work for this campground. Now we are thinking of, like I said, we're working on that second RV park. Will be in Ohio on the Ohio Michigan line. So we're expanding back home. To close in the winter time. So we're still getting out of there in the winter, just so you know, Yolanda.
Yes. And now I see some people that came on, and I want to thank all our visitors and those that have came on to watch us, because this is Black History Month, and here you have two Black women who are doing things in the outdoors, and you have Alicia and Lawson and her husband who has Time Away RV Resort. And if you have any questions, please chime in, because I want to be able to answer some questions that you might have out there. I see Misha Clark said, "Me love camping and fishing." Now, do you do any fishing, Lisa? Do you do any fishing?
So we do. I fish. We fished with our stepdad for a long time fishing.
Okay.
So I know how to gut one, clean it, and in the back of our home we have a lake. So in Ohio we live on the lake. Yeah. So we've been there 10 years. So we have a boat and
Okay.
we fish and we teach our kids, our grandkids and kids how to fish. So I teach them how to clean fish, and I'm a big catfish catcher. Right now we have bass in the backyard, so we go back and catch and release. Or I can't eat them because we've named them. You know how you name a fish, you can't eat it after you name them.
No,
So
you
we
cannot
tried
name
that.
fish.
We tried that and it didn't work out. I was like, I can't eat them. I can't eat them. So we don't. We catch and release now.
So tell me,
Uh,
what are your plans for the next campground in Michigan? I heard about that.
Oh yeah. So Yolanda, what we plan to do there, okay, is we really plan to make it so that we have founding members, and they are everyone that came to visit. I think Lutricia's one, and we have some other ones. I think Keith Sam said he became a founding member. So we have founding members that either donated their sites to a veteran last June, in June, not
Okay.
last June, June, or they came. And if you came and supported us, and we were packed every weekend in June, we had over 1,500 founding members, and they pay $40 for life, and that is
Awesome.
awesome. Yeah, so they'll be able to transition that and use the Michigan site campground for that $40 for life. Also,
That
we
is
plan to open a
wonderful.
total of five, so we'll be working on
Okay.
those five within the next 5 years. So
Now, I have a question here. Someone, Diane asked, what can other campers do to help make the camping experience more inclusive?
yeah, that's
We,
a good
I
question.
think
So
we're more inclusive as people of color. We want to keep our names true to who we are. Like, I have Black Girls Fish too. I have Black Women of Excellence, but that doesn't mean that a woman cannot be a part of the organizations that I created. And so tell me, how do
So
you
what we are doing with polishing dirt is that we'll be visiting black and white, no matter what. I don't care what kind of park you
okay,
have.
people,
We,
that's
we have
smart.
about ten park owners right now on our list, and they're of all different ethnicities. And we'll be encouraging them and really talking to them about how to bring that diversity in. We've gotten so many calls to say, look, especially after we had a couple instances here, we were reached out. Like I would say, oh my God, 50, 60
My
campground owners that were Caucasian, those specific
God,
ones. And
no.
they were like, what do we do? How do we help get more, be more inclusive? So we gave some really good pointers on how to do that. And so we're going to have more meetings about that to see how can we help their specific campground. So that's what we're going to do, is really visit them and then really talk about, do what we're doing here. Have the campground owner on on video, talking about their campground and how they want to be inclusive.
Awesome. I see someone that's ready to visit Time Away already on here. Well, Alicia,
Is that
it has been such a blessing. I know we're probably having to get ready to wrap up, because we have been on here, and this has been nothing but joy to sit here and pluck your brain about what you're doing, how you're doing, where you're at, and everything in light of Black History Month. But before we go, if you're already a camper and you want some help planning a trip or just keeping up with the latest trends from Go RVing, you can go to GoRVing.com. They have a platform dedicated on there just to let you know about anything that you newbies are trying to get, even trying to pick out your travel trailer, um, thinking about what size. You plug in all your questions and it'll help you kind of figure out what you need. Then you can, where you can buy or rent an RV is also there. I have to keep my little notes so I remember because,
Right,
you
right.
know,
I understand.
and then how to choose the right campground, recipes for the road, sample road trips, cost breakdowns, videos, man, you can get everything. Just go to GoRVing.com. That's where all the vacation happens. You get started there and you can have a ball. And I want to thank you, Alicia, with
Thank
Time
you.
RV Resorts. Everyone, please just go there, click the buttons, go to RV, go RVing, click on that, look around, take a look. And I just want to thank everyone for chiming in today. And I'm going to be speaking with you again offline.
That's right. Thank you so much. Looking forward to it. Thank you guys, and thanks for the opportunity once again.
Absolutely. Let me see. I think we're about close. I'm currently renovating an RV to do just this. Awesome. I wish we had more questions um, to answer, but I don't see any.
Well, that's okay. Before we leave, I want to let everybody know that they can be, if you didn't get a chance to be a founding member, there's still a chance to be a Gold Star member with Time Away RV
Oh, yeah,
Resort.
I meant to ask you about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We put that in place for people that, people came, they were founding members, but then we ran out of room, we ran out of space. And so if you come to our anniversary or you donate two sites to a veteran, then
What
the
if
two
you
days,
are a veteran? What if
then you're
you
going to
are a
be
veteran?
start a Gold Star, huh?
What if you are a veteran? What if
If
those
you
that are veterans?
Well, if you donate those 2 days, the good
Mhm.
thing is that Memorial Day is always free for the founding members or Gold Star members that are veterans.
Really? Okay.
Veterans Day is always free. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks for sharing that
I
name.
know. Yes. Yes, yes.
I
Thank
wonder if
you. Thank you.
anybody else has any questions. Listen, please take the time out to go to Time Away RV Resort. It has been a wonderful pleasure to have you, Alicia. I
Yeah.
wish your
Thank you.
husband could have got on here and we could have had him here too.
Oh, next
But
time. Next time we could do a follow up.
absolutely, and just see how everything is going. But this
Yes.
is Miss Hook. I'm going to wrap up with Go RVing. I'm their ambassador, and we just hope you have a great day. We're going to end.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
more than welcome. Have a
Bye.
good day.